The biggest and the brightest moon of the year came and went with the super blue moon rising with Saturn on August 30th and 31st. If you're unaware of how big that celestial event was, you better watch this video to the end, as we're discussing the most interesting things about the recent super blue moon event and how it has affected our planet and our minds too. But before that, make sure to subscribe to Mind Over Matter so that you'll never miss out on informative and interesting topics to keep your minds full with knowledge and fun tidbits. Alright, let's get started. What is a super blue moon? A super blue moon is an astronomical event that merges two fascinating lunar occurrences, a supermoon and a blue moon. What makes the 2023 super blue moon even more remarkable is that it coincided with the day when Saturn was closest to Earth and appeared just a few degrees away from the moon in the sky. To comprehend what a super blue moon is, it's crucial to first understand the two terms individually before combining them. A supermoon refers to a full moon that appears larger and brighter in the sky than an average full moon. This variation in size and brightness occurs because the moon orbits the Earth in an elliptical or slightly oval path. This means that there are points in its orbit when it's closer to the Earth or perigee, and points when it's farther away or apogee. A supermoon happens when a full moon closely coincides with the perigee, causing it to appear about 14% larger and 30% brighter than when it is at its farthest point or during a micromoon. Now, let's talk about a blue moon. The expression "once in a blue moon" refers to a rare occurrence, and this saying is inspired by the infrequency of blue moons. Despite its name, a blue moon doesn't mean the moon turns blue. Instead, the term blue moon has historically been used to describe unusual lunar events. The most widely accepted definition of a blue moon is the second full moon in a calendar month that has two full moons. Usually, each month has only one full moon, but since the moon cycle is about 29.5 days, there is a small window for a second one to fit into a single calendar month. This happens approximately once every 2.7 years. A blue moon has another meaning that is less known. It is the third full moon in a season that has 4 full moons. Usually, each season between a solstice and an equinox has 3 full moons, one for each month, but sometimes a season will have 4 full moons, and the third one is called a blue moon. So, combining the above phenomena, a super blue moon occurs when the moon is both a blue moon and a supermoon. A blue moon is either the second full moon of a month or the third in a season that has 4 full moons. In fact, a super blue moon is an even rarer event than either a supermoon or a blue moon on their own. To the naked eye, it will mainly be noticeable for its size and brightness, but it won't actually appear blue. The color of the moon can be influenced by Earth's atmospheric conditions. For example, after significant wildfires or volcanic eruptions, the moon can sometimes appear bluish or even reddish due to particles in the atmosphere. However, this coloring is not directly related to the term blue moon. Now, let's talk about the recent super blue moon event. The super blue moon of 2023 rose on August 30th and reached its full phase at 9:35 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or 1:35 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, on August 31st. The nights of August 30th to 31st was when the moon was closest to Earth, at a distance of about 357,000 kilometers or 220,000 miles, according to NASA. This is 27,000 kilometers or 17,000 miles closer to Earth than average. It's called a blue moon because it's the second full moon of August 2023. On the night of August 30th, people looking at the moon saw a bright speck of light near it. This was not a star, but the ring planet Saturn. August 30th was also the day of the conjunction of the moon and Saturn in Aquarius, with the two celestial bodies appearing just a few degrees apart in the sky. What's even more remarkable is that Saturn was around its opposition during the super blue moon. Opposition is a term in astronomy that means the position of a heavenly body when it is right across the sun in the sky as seen from the Earth, with Earth in the middle of that heavenly body and the sun. This term is often used for outer planets in our solar system, especially when talking about how well we can see them from Earth. When Saturn or any outer planet is in opposition, it means that it is closest to Earth for that year, making it a good time to look at it. When Saturn is in opposition, it comes up in the east when the sun goes down in the west, and it goes down in the west when the sun comes up in the east. This means that the planet can be seen in the sky all night long. Because Saturn is on the other side of the sun from us and relatively near to Earth at this time, it sends sunlight straight back, making it brighter than at other times of the year. The rings of Saturn, if they are tilted well, can make it even more brilliant. The best time for hobbyists and fans of astronomy to observe Saturn with a telescope is when it is in opposition. Saturn is not only brighter, but also closer, so it looks bigger in the eyepiece and shows more details of its rings, and maybe some of its moons. It is a great chance for sharp and clear observations, as well as stunning pictures for those who like to photograph the sky. Now that you're aware of what a super blue moon is, let's find out what possible effects it had on people who have witnessed it. The moon events have been linked to different cultural beliefs and superstitions throughout history. One can find out from the records of history that a blue moon has an effect on how people act. This idea is based on myths and stories, but there is no scientific research to back it up. Many scientific studies have tried to find out if there is a link between the moon phases and how people behave. Some studies have found some connections between full moons and certain human behaviors. However, the results have not been very consistent, and they have not shown a clear reason and result relationship. However, a social experiment that has been noticed is how crime rates and emergency room visits change during a full moon. There is often an increase in crime rates and emergency room visits when there is a full moon, which also happens when there is a blue moon. The human tendency to connect the full moon to human behavior is called the tendency to look for and understand information that supports what we already believe. The experts think this helps to create the blue moon effect that we can see. The blue moon and the full moon have many historical beliefs and cultural influences that are linked to them. These beliefs are what keep shaping how we see the sky events, while science does not have enough proof. You might be curious about when the next blue moon will happen. That depends on which meaning for a blue moon you use. Between 1932 and 1957, the Maine Farmer's Almanac, which is no longer published, suggested that the third full moon in a season with 4 full moons instead of 3 should be called a blue moon. If you follow that rule, then the next blue moon will happen on August 19, 2024. There will be 4 full moons in the summer of 2024, which will occur on June 21st, July 21st, August 19th, and September 18th. The August full moon is the third one in the summer series, so it would be called a blue moon. But because of a couple of mistakes in understanding this old rule, first by Sky and Telescope magazine, then many years later by a radio show that many people listen to, it now seems that the second full moon in a month is the one that most people think of as the meaning of a blue moon. There is no proof that a blue moon has any effect on Earth itself, but the moon does have some influence over the planet. In fact, the moon affects life in 3 main ways: time, tides, and light. The moon is very important for many animals, especially birds, for moving and finding their way. Some will also match their mating with the specific stages of the moon cycle. There are also many amazing ways that animals can adapt to the tides and the special features of moonlight. Meanwhile, do you know what circadian rhythms are? They are day and night cycles that are caused by Earth going around the sun. Human circadian rhythms can be easily messed up by traveling across time zones or changing the clocks, but there are also circulunar rhythms which are linked to moon cycles. Circulunar rhythms are very hard to notice, but they have effects on different kinds of living things. Some animals will follow both a day and night rhythm and a moon clock. Whatever the case may be, the recent super blue moon event has truly captured the wonder and curiosity for many. It has even captured mine. Did it do the same for you too? And that's it for today's video on the recent super blue moon event. Tell us, were you able to witness its rise? Or will you be waiting for the next blue moon instead? Hopefully, you won't take as long to like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you like the content you see here. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time!